We back.
What's up, y'all?
Yo, you know who it is. It's your favorite people.
It's Jay.
And always it's your boy, you see. So let me ask you, Jay.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask you in front of everybody in the whole world. So who was the people's champ first? Paul Wall or The Rock?
Paul Wall. I don't care what the years say. Paul Wall is the people's champ. His chain lights up like a lamp because now he's back with the camp, crawling similar to an ant because he's low to the earth. People's feelings get hurt when they figure out what he's worth. He got 84s poking that at the club. I'm showing that. No, I'm not. Let me stop.
Nice though.
I mean, just say Jay, kept a couple of shots,
Yeah, you took a few.
Just a few.
So tell them what it is. It's Mental Health Awareness
May
Month.
is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I posed a question on Facebook. But what are you doing to protect your peace? So what do you do to protect your peace?
Since everybody's been going back into the office,
yeah.
I don't like a lot of loud.
Sensory overload.
Yeah, and being back in the office and everybody on TikTok and they just laughing and giggling
and playing it loud on their phone.
So whenever I come home after all that, I just want to hear quiet. Like I come in, there ain't no TV, there's no nothing. It's just me, just nothing.
Were you ever younger and you would see like your grandparents or your parents just sitting in the quiet? You're like, why are you sitting there in the quiet? I get it.
It's peaceful.
I get it now. I don't want to hear shit. Just let me just sit here.
Just let me be.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how you protecting your peace.
Yeah, I'll just turn it all off.
Mine is just telling people no. If the vibes are not there, the energy is not there, I'm just telling them no. But the most important part of that is telling them no without an explanation. So, because I used to be really big on, well, no, because I have this going on and this is happening and I ain't gonna be able to do that.
Can you do that? Can you just not?
No is a complete sentence. So you can't just say no. You don't owe anybody an explanation of anything. You're telling them you're not.
You can't just go from just telling people, well, I would, but yeah,
you can.
Leroy coming to town,
walking testimony.
It's to just be like, nah, I ain't doing that, G.
Because think about it. If you're giving an explanation, then what if someone tries to counter your explanation with a solution to why you can't, and then
you got to keep the lie
and
going.
now you got to keep it going, or you get suckered into doing it and you don't want to do it. So no, just say no.
He live up on the 6th floor and he got this sectional that we got to take apart.
Bro, I got a truck. I can help you, and then you can come over and do this for me.
We ain't got no elevator either, so you got to go down 6th flight all stairs.
That's how my son can help. yeah. So, yeah.
And then 6 hours late.
Just say no. You don't have to give him a reason. Just say no. I promise you. It's tough.
Like drugs.
Yeah.
Like there.
Yeah, just say no. No to drugs.
Ain't that what you tell you in there? Like, just say no.
Yeah. Just say no.
Like drugs. You just say no.
But the term drug is kind of little
loose
interpretation. But anyways. Yes, really. I ain't gonna say no to Xanax and I'm over here geeked out, freaking out and shit.
So you out here like Fable?
No, not like you got a Fable. I will not.
Steamy.
No. So also, it's May. Mother's Day weekend's coming up. I know we kind of went in on the parents when we talked about the toxic parents.
You went in.
I feel. What you mean me?
I mean we.
This is a we situation. This is Jay and Hey the Nigga. So, we kind of went hard on the parents, but it got us to thinking that we need to do like a part 2 to that.
Yeah.
Another type of section to that.
Because a few people hit us up and was like, that was a little jaded. It's a little slanted, one-sided, and kids can be toxic too.
And yes, and not necessarily kids as in children, but like the offspring of the parents.
Right. So
we decided we would talk about toxic offspring.
Yeah.
Because, your parents aren't the only ones that could be toxic. You could be toxic too. So how can someone grow up to be toxic offspring? Like, do you think it's a result of that's just in their genetics and their genes to be dicks, to be assholes? Or is it like nurture? Do you think the parents may have a hand in that?
I don't know. I think that's a tough one, right?
I think so too.
Because you look at like how people used to grow up and be like, hey, there was a church kid and they grew up in the church, and now they out here gangbanging and selling dope.
Wait.
And you be like, dog, like, how did we get that far?
How do we go there? Yeah, and like, or also, you know, there are kids who are very spoiled, or they were not used to being heard the word no, so that when they get older, they feel like no one can tell them no, including their parents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and that's something you kind of have to think about. Like, well, yeah, they may be spoiled or they may feel entitled, but how did they get this way?
Yeah, they be putting hands on them too, boy.
Oh my goodness. Or like another situation I've seen where, you know, even as an adult, you're using your parents against each other. Or, you know, you kind of know, well, if I want something like this, I don't need to go to mom. I need to go to dad because dad knows how to sweet talk mom. And so that way, for those of y'all that are lucky, your parents are still together. But anyways.
Or even if they not.
Or they're cordial. Or you know who both of them are.
Yeah, I think it happens more if they're cordial.
Yes. So it's that can also be toxic because you're still manipulating whatever situation for it to be in your favor. So also I know niggas in their 30s and 40s and their parents are still paying their bills and they feel like that they still need to. But like your cell phone bill or your car insurance. I mean, it's different if you get a deal, but pay them their money.
Hit a lick.
Don't let them pay for your car insurance and you married with a whole family. I know some people like that too.
Is the family on the plan?
No, just
so the family got their own plan?
They got their own. But no, my mom was paying for me, not we. That's that type of situation.
That's weird.
And I don't know. I just feel like as far as, you know, once you're old enough and you can kind of maintain your own household and your own bills, let your parents enjoy their lives. Like it used to not make sense to me whenever we would watch like a show like The Cosby Show or some other family type show where the grandparents are actually like going on trips and doing what they want, and the kids are kind of like, the grown adult kids are kind of like, well, no, you need to be knitting and you need to be spending time with your grandkids and all that time.
How dare you be going all over the globe?
Almost kind of like, you know, our parents they were really strict on us, but for the grandkids, they'll let them do anything. Yeah. I feel like they realize that life's not that serious. I mean, it's not that serious.
They've been through it and they realize,
that they can loosen up a bit. So I definitely think that,
and that they just not always there either. Like, I mean, unless they raising them, but you know what I mean.
Right?
Like, they gotta go home.
These grandparents want to go on trips. They don't just go to bingo. They go to Miami.
They're like, I ain't keeping no kids.
They want to go to the casino. They've raised their kids, so they don't want to keep any kids. And it's funny because I know a lot of parents that are like, oh, that's crap, and they need to watch their grandkids. They kept asking me for grandkids. Yeah, but just like they had to watch you need to watch your own kids. So I think not allowing your parents to live. You know what I mean? Because they had a life before you were here. And then you came and they did what they needed to do. And now you're grown and off on your way with your husband, wife, and kids. So they deserve to have that fun too. So I think you shouldn't impede on your parents' happiness.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about kids that talk rough to their parents?
What do you mean? Like to just in general?
Like just feel the need to just cuss them out just because they upset. Like they can't just express why they upset. Like they feel like they have to cuss.
I don't care what type of relationship I have with my parents. I'm still going to respect who they are in my life.
Yeah.
So I've never been one for people who curse their parents out. Now, at the same token, if their parents have always been rough to them, if that's just how they communicate, I may not like it because that's not what I'm used to. But if that's how they communicate, then that's how they communicate to get their point across. But as far as how I was raised and my own, morals, it doesn't matter what my mom does. I'm never going to straight up disrespect her. Or my father. I'll never just straight up disrespect them.
You can respectfully disagree.
I will disagree. They're going to take it as disagreement anyways. I mean, as disrespect anyways. But I'll respectfully disagree and let them know how I feel. And if they get me to the point where I feel like I'm about to say something that I shouldn't, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
Because I hear a lot of people like just straight like dogging their parents.
I've heard that. I'm like, you talk to your mama?
Like, F you this, And you look, I know we cuss on her, but I'm not gonna cuss like that on her. But you know what I mean? Like, dog, I'd be like, dog, I wouldn't talk like that. I mean, I probably would to like a dude on the street. But that's somebody I don't know, but like somebody that I'm supposed to love. This is the
person that like brought me into this world. No, I can't do that. But again, if that's the type of relationship that the parent has with the child where they talk to each other like that, if that works for them to communicate, then hey, that's fine. I'm just not going to agree with it because you're not going to agree with how everybody raises their kids and treats their kids. So, and then also another big thing is just giving that differential treatment when it comes to mom versus dad. I know a lot of people tend to Mother's Day.
Right.
Everyone goes all out for Mother's Day. You know, we're taking her to a restaurant. We're buying her all of these gifts, this expensive perfume, these clothes, these bags, and all this other stuff. And then what happens on Father's Day?
You get a tie.
You get a tie. You get some socks.
If they remember.
You get
a text.
You get a home cooked meal, maybe.
Alfredo? No, that's on Valentine's Day. Never mind. That's not on Valentine's Day.
No, it's for Father's Day. Y'all get like a big piece of chicken or something like that.
Yeah, boy. Maybe fish fry.
So, and then also, listen, I do like a good fish fry. But as far as, you know, always making sure mom is good, because of course you want to make sure your mom is good because she's the nurturer, she's the one that birthed you and things like that. But you can't dismiss your dad's feelings too.
Yeah.
I know some people that think mothers are always right, no matter what.
What about mothers that celebrate Father's Day?
What do you mean? Oh no, I'm gonna let you talk about that. The single mothers who are like, I'm the mama and the daddy. That irks me so bad. I feel like that's gonna be another topic. Another.
Okay, we'll pin that.
We're gonna pin that. Maybe we'll make that our Father's Day episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that around Father's Day.
We're gonna talk about giving the father their flowers. Yes, but that is definitely a conversation that needs to be had because I feel very strongly about that.
So let me ask you something else then. Something I was thinking about. So what about like kids or people who take advantage of their parents financially? Whereas what? Like they supposed to be getting money for repairs for the house and the repairs never done. And then it's like $10,000 later. And
yeah.
The kid's like,
or hey, they're like, I have all these tickets and my license is suspended. I feel like my mama should help me because she got her income tax. The fuck? Like, no, that.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like 1920. I mean, which granted, if you're not living with them and they're telling you that they're not paying for that type of stuff, then you shouldn't expect it. But I mean, like you're well in your 20s and 30s and feel like your parents should help you out with they finally have the money that they can spend on themselves without worrying about you and your well-being, especially when you have a job.
Now, we're not saying that parents should never help you and you should never expect help from your parents.
But I feel like it should be the parents' decision if they want to help. And then if they decide that they want to help, they should be able to say how much and dictate that. They shouldn't be told how much or you have to do this.
Right.
I ain't got to do shit.
Kick you in because you know you the one that told me I should get this and now I can't afford it.
Or I can't pay my rent this month, so I'm gonna need you to
Y'all don't want me to be homeless or move in with y'all, so
because also if the parents keep giving into that, then that's why the child feels like they're entitled.
So they feel like no matter what, they got a safety net.
Right. Now, I mean, there are some parents that are okay with that. And I'm saying if that's how your
relationship is.
If that's how your relationship is, then that's fine. But I'm saying you shouldn't expect it.
Especially if you know your parent don't have it, I guess.
Because most parents, no matter what the age, they want to make sure their children are good. So they will go without to make sure that their child is good. So don't take advantage of that. You know, there were even times where, let's say if I was, doing real bad, I wouldn't even want to tell my mom because it may not necessarily be that big to me, but to her, it's like, oh, that's my baby. She needs something. I need to stop whatever I'm doing to make sure that she has what she needs. No, she doesn't need to know because it's not that serious and I can take care of it. This is just one of those moments where I'm just having a tough time like everybody else.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, just, we have to be. You have to give your parents some type of relief at some point. I mean, of course, they're always going to be your mom or your dad, stepmom, stepdad, whatever.
And they may have done a lot of shady things.
Right. But at the end of the day, take care of yourself, because then you don't have to, you shouldn't want to depend on them. And especially because the older you get, the more limited your money could get,
right?
And they have other things to worry about. And then this is going to sound really dark. Listen, I'm trying to have as much fun as I can before I die type of situation. So
because you just don't know how close to glory you are.
Some people are not long for this earth, like you say. So just kind of be careful when it comes to dealing with your parents, and just
also with your own kids. We're not just saying with your parents, but also if you are a parent, if you have kids, or if you have stepkids, we're trying to say be aware of your own actions,
right?
Because you don't know how your actions kind of directly affect another person,
and how they may take that, and that shapes their personality and how they interact with you, and how what type of role and position that you are holding in their life.
So that's why we were saying, like, we wanted to also do this episode, was because we know we was a little rough on parents, and we still kind of are in a way, but also we also understand that I like myself, I am a parent, and I also understand a lot of choices that I've made, throughout the course of my life. I know that I see the correlation in my kids of the decisions that I made.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives me that benefit, that hindsight, to kind of understand or think about some of the decisions that my parents made.
Yeah.
And, even though it may not have came out, the way that the way that it intended, or the way that it wanted, but we all came to a point.
Right. Yeah. So that's all. We just wanted to have a little conversation about that. So definitely let us know what you think. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you feel like that I have been the toxic offspring? I have been the one that's had these high expectations of my parents, and now I realize I need to change that. Let us know.
If I really wanted to be honest, I can honestly say that I have.
Yeah.
Because there was a point to where, like, I was upset at my mama, right? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to prove a point. Like, I wanted to show that, I was mad. Like, I remember I used to see her, and I used to make a point to just drive by. You see me, but I'm not going to speak because I'm mad at you. And I probably did that for months.
Yeah.
And then I moved, and then I didn't see her for a long time. And then, then I thought about it after a while, like, you was being real childish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then now that she's no longer here, now that I think about that, I'm like, bruh, dog, you wasted time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the point of what I really wanted to get out of the last two shows was, you don't know how much time you have.
That's true.
And so you got to make small sacrifices and points with people that you care about.
You have to pick your battles.
You have to pick your battles.
Have to pick your battles. So, and that I mean, I've had the same situation where if I was mad at my mom and I would try to pay her back by, look at everything that I have, and you thought that I couldn't get this.
Yeah.
And just putting it out there, but still not really interacting in it. That's a waste of time.
Man, it's a waste of time. I used to think about it, man, like, dog, like I used to be like, how can somebody make less money than me tell me how to spend my money? Dog, that sounds so dumb now.
Yeah.
I mean, but
to the point, yeah.
As your peer, I think as a peer, that's different. Yeah, like if it's different. A peer, that's different. Yeah, but as a parent, then that's a different thing. And I didn't think about it like that.
They have that age and wisdom and experience, and you're sitting here like, I know everything. No, you don't.
And I just think about like how young and dumb I was, and like how toxic I probably was acting like that because I would just be dumb.
Yeah, but then also by you recognizing that, if your children try to portray something like that, you can kind of see it and get ahead of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you can also try to watch your actions so that way that doesn't manifest in your children too. So
yeah.
But yeah. So
man, okay. Let me ask you a question. Like,
okay.
Can a whole family be toxic?
Yes.
Like if you see like a lot of people like acting exactly the same. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like everybody like
they all drink the Kool-Aid.
Everybody drink like where do you think like it probably starts? Like, do you think like because if the mama in the 80s act like that, do you think the mama probably act like that? Or are they like branches off a vine? Kind of like when people be like church kids and...
I feel like it starts at whoever is the current head. Because whoever is the current head, that's who everyone wants to impress, wants to make sure it's good, wants to, emulate, and they hold in the highest regard. So I feel like it comes at the head. So if the head wants to change anything, they would have more influence on everyone else.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But yeah, there's some families I see and I'm like, y'all are exactly kind of like the Clumps. That's the first thing I can think of. Kind of like the Clumps. They're used to just eating big meals and, farting at the table, talking shit and fighting. So, and then Sherman was like, I don't want to be like this.
Kind of like having Les Dog and Tracy Morgan as aunties and uncles.
Oh my God. But I bet
and Lunel.
Funny. Okay, then it just got annoying. But yeah, I think it definitely stems from, the adult. It's from the top down.
Right.
And it's going to take that one person to either the black sheep or whatever to either change the narrative or, set their boundaries and kind of, put a ruffle and everything.
Do you think it's possible to change direction of your family? Or, let's say like...
It depends.
Like you come to a point and you say, okay, I've been toxic and I see that my kids haven't benefited from anything that I've taught them. And I have to change myself now. And I'm trying to change myself. And now I'm trying to teach them a different way. Do you think that it's possible for them to teach a different way?
I feel like if they really fuck with you, then they would. I hate to say this, but it's kind of like growing up in a racist family.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to make them see, no, black people are okay. This is my black boyfriend and he's great.
Like, nah, boy, you gotta get out of here by sundown.
Right. What they call sunrise town, sundown town. Yeah. Or accepting, a family that's known for being homophobic and then being like, oh, well, guess what? I'm gay and this is my girlfriend. Then that's something that I feel like if your family really loves you and really cares for you, they're going to adjust and they're going to change their ways. And because now they have some physical,
they have something tangible.
Tangible to kind of be like, well, I know I love him and, he's a great person. So I'm not saying you're gay, baby. No, we know you ain't gay. But if he's gay and I still love him, that doesn't change how I feel about him and love him. Then maybe I can kind of open myself up to being like,
be more accepting.
To be more accepting. So I definitely think that it just varies on, your family and their willingness to adapt to change.
And if they can't change, then
you just love them from afar. That doesn't mean you don't have to love them anymore. You just love them from afar.
I like you, but I don't love you.
No. I love you, but I don't like you. Oh my God, Toni Braxton on the Braxton Family Values, when she told her family, she's like, if we weren't related, I wouldn't even be friends with y'all. Damn.
Yeah.
And they just kind of glossed over it.
Oh, that's Toni. Toni.
Toni was like, I can't stand y'all niggas, and I could see that.
I guess now I can kind of see like those aunties and uncles who kind of like, they was real cool, but they stayed far, far away from the family.
I'm that auntie. I'm that auntie. I come around during the important events.
Yeah, like they show up and it's like, hey, when they show up, it's a party when they come to town. But
right, and it's like, oh shit, hey, so-and-so's here.
But it's hell getting them to show up.
Because it's like Beyonce and Jay-Z showing up. You just never know.
They be like,
don't get me get it now. But also, I feel like, knowing what I know now, I'm like, oh, that's how they're protecting their peace.
Yeah, they was like, yo, I ain't with that dumb shit.
Like, I love y'all. Don't get me wrong. Love y'all to pieces.
You ain't getting no money.
Don't want to look at y'all. Don't want to talk to y'all. Don't want to hear what you got going through. Yes.
But I'll show up, though.
But I'll show up and I love you. Love you. But I'm not fucking with you. I get it. I totally get it. So.
Yeah. Interesting point.
Good question. That was a great question.
Yeah, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch your family, boy. Cause
they say FOE, family of everything.
That's what they say. But they'll cut you the knees too.
Chop, karate chop.
So talk to me. You got any petty words of wisdom? I know you got it.
Of course I do.
Talk to me.
I'm the petty auntie, so I always have petty words of wisdom. So, I have a certain standard of, different areas of my life. And some people call it high maintenance. Some people call it high standards. For all of my bougie aunties, petty aunties, those that just want something better than the average Joe, high standards protect you from low quality expectations and experiences.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you're always up here, you're not going to be dealing with shit that's going on down here.
Yeah, I mean, if you up there, you ain't going to be going places where the blinds.
If you're drinking champagne in a 5-star restaurant, you're not going to be worried about roaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. High, what is it?
Oh, you done forgot.
I forgot. High standards protect you from low quality experience.
Places where the blinds that are tore up.
No roaches and no tore up blinds. And not the trash cans that are always overfilled, the dumpsters that are always overfilled, and there's a mattress leaning up against it every day.
Little stray dogs and cats.
And a baby standing outside in a diaper with no one else to be found.
So keep your expectations up.
I mean, keep your expectations high because it prevents you from having low quality experiences. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Those are the petty words of wisdom this week. Do you have anything else for us?
So talk to them. Where they can find you at?
You can find me at Jaye on Instagram, and he is at Lord Hater on Instagram. And you can also find us on Facebook and on the YouTube.
Yes. And if you want to go to the website, you can check the website out at www.janehater.com.
Yes. But yeah.
Other than that, you got anything else?
Nothing else. But again, it is May, Mental Health Awareness Month. So
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Protect your peace. Be heavy on the self-care. Heavy on the self-love. Because literally, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect anyone else to? So,
yeah. You got to love yourself first.
You have to.
Or at least try.
At least, and I mean,
give it to yourself.
Give it all you got, damn it. Literally give it all you got. Because the world is so much better when you at least love yourself.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it also helped you, not care about what else anybody else say.
At all. That's one thing I learned as far as going into my 30s. I feel like the older I get, the more
the less I care.
I am grown and I do not care about y'all like that. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Y'all can get out of my face. And it is amazing. And I do not regret saying no and not having an explanation. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Once you find that and you know how to protect your peace, or when you find your peace, because you have to find it first.
You got to find it first.
Once you find it, then you're like, oh, I'm not going to, you put a force field around it. I'm not going to let nothing.
Can't nothing get in.
Can't nothing get in here. So,
okay.
So yeah.
And again, we appreciate everybody every week that comes through and they listen to us.
Thank you for listening to us, because as much as you guys say you love listening to us, we love that you guys listen to us.
For sure.
Thank you. And we will see you guys next week. Let us know what you think about the episode. And as always, protect your